Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello, and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. So very thrilled to share today's Silhouette of Success VIP feature guest with all of you. She has a vibrant energy about her. She is a small business owner, a creative and strategic genius, born and raised on the west side of Fort Worth, Texas, and loves all things Funkytown. She and her husband have 2 small children, and what she says is a very naughty dog. So please help me welcome Sarah Estes. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for taking time and joining us today as you share your silhouette of success.
Great.
Sarah, so let's just jump right in. And as you begin to share your silhouette of success story with us today, how about we start by letting you share a little bit about your background with the audience?
So yes, born and raised in Fort Worth. And I originally went to school for nursing and then finished my basics and had started to dive into those specialties and, remembered that I just really don't like blood. So needed to pivot and figure out what I wanted to do. So I took some time off after my second year of college and traveled. I lived outside of Telluride, Colorado for about a year and really kind of there was able to hone into what I really wanted to do in life, which was I had a passion for advertising, communications, and marketing. So came back home and got a job at Joe T. Garcia's and waited tables while I finished college at Texas Wesleyan University. I did a series of internships there with CBS News, a PR group, and a small direct marketing agency. Then graduated and kind of immersed myself into the digital marketing world, worked at several agencies. And then about 3 years ago, I stepped down from a senior role at a local agency, started freelancing, did that for 2 years. And then I partnered up with my former coworker to form Preuve and am currently co-founder of that company. And it's growing and very exciting.
Wow, what an exciting journey, though.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool is that? So you just mentioned your new business, and so let's just jump right into that too. Is it my understanding that it's fairly new, within a year or year and a half, almost 2 years? Talk a little bit about that, and how did you determine it was your time to do that? Go out on your own, open a business.
Well, it was the opportunity that presented itself. And, my parents had always taught me when you're presented with an opportunity, you should always take it. So I had just decided to partner with somebody that had opposite skills. And, we launched that business kind of unofficially because, it was April 2020, whenever the pandemic had just started to really kind of shake the world as it would. So we kind of quietly launched and took on referral clients. And really that's the majority of our customer base still. I was freelancing and really enjoying it wasn't necessarily that it was laid back, or easy for any means, but I kind of got settled in, and then I just got bored, and I just realized that I wasn't really getting to tap into things that I felt like I was destined and determined to do. And John, who is kind of the creative genius, kind of awakened that, I guess. And so we jumped in head first together, and it has been growing, and the referrals keep coming, which is awesome. We've done a couple of really big projects that won some awards, and got some global and national recognition. And so that has really impacted our business. And in the last like 3 or 4 weeks, it's just, really taken off.
Oh, so very cool. Well, you've got to share a little bit more about the global awards. Tell us more for all of those so we could, everybody likes to hear about that too. And you should boast about that a little more. What are those awards? Tell us about those.
The awards were for our client, Bahama Bucks, and they had come to John and I, and they were really wanting an industry leading experience, a mobile first industry leading experience. So we worked, closely with their team and a developer who honestly, he's just like a magic maker when it comes to making things move on a screen. We got a CSS design award for the best UI, the best user experience. So UI is best user interface, the best UX is experience. We got the Innovation Design Award, and then we got another couple of awards. We got an honorable mention with them, so that was a pretty big deal. And then we also got something called the Arbitron Award. That was a global recognition.
That is so cool. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Very as far as the role that I played in that, it was really just, I think, account management and project management, but I have to really give credit to John, who was the creative visionary behind it. I had small things that I contributed that you can see, like I wanted sparkles and the sugar cubes, so they let me have that kind of stuff. But as far as the photography direction and all of the user experience, all that, John is really the mastermind. So I'm happy to share that platform, with him.
Absolutely. How rewarding. All that success and so early on, if you will, in the new company.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Wow, good for you. So
thank you.
let's take a look at this. So a day in the life of. Share with us a day in the life once the alarm clock goes off, the workday kicks off for you, 2 kids, a naughty dog, husband in the business. We always look at other, strong, amazing, successful females in whatever form that success is for us, right? And we look and we think, okay, how does she do it? So, what does a day in the life look like for you as it pertains really to kind of getting into the business and different things like that?
Well, I wake up pretty early now. I think I used to be somebody that never rolled out of bed until like 8:30, and that's changed quite a bit with kids. So I get up, make coffee, and do kind of the morning breakfast, get them ready for school routine. My husband is super helpful. So he, helps make lunches and gets everybody's teeth brushed, so things like that. And then we basically, kind of part ways. I work out of my home, so that's super helpful and convenient. And we're remote based, so everything we do is pretty much virtually, except for when we meet local clients, like for coffee or lunch or happy hour. Yeah, so work day, then I pick up Sloan. She's my 4-year-old from pre-K at 2. So I kind of pause the day. Then I pick up my son at 3:30 from school. And I come back to the house, kind of log back in for about an hour and tidy up things and kind of close it off. And I love to cook. So I try really hard to cook about 3 days a week. So yeah, that after 5:30, I close it down and make sure that I spend those next couple hours with my family, and then once they go to bed, oftentimes I pick it back up, and all of this with a dog that eats everything. So, still trying to work with him. But he's amazing. He's actually a big part of my day because I work from home and he's always with me. He's like my shadow. So we have a lot of adventures together. He eats Wi-Fi cables and patio furniture when I'm not looking. So he keeps me on my toes along with the daily grind.
Wow, so you have 3 children.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The dog is the most
Oh,
expensive.
little spunky, huh? Oh, how
So,
funny is that? It sounds very structured is too hard of a word, right? Too firm of a word, but you've got a really good handle on a schedule for yourself and for your work day, and so that sounds like it works very well.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I have been very fortunate that even before pandemic and while I was in the ad agency world, I always negotiated like being able to work from home 1 or 2 days out of the week. And, as I planned to have kids and had kids, was pretty strict about that. And I have figured out kind of the power hour method, which is, when I'm sitting down after the kids are dropped off at school and, before lunchtime, I have a window of hours that I just zone everything out, put on music and get to work.
Eliminate those distractions.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yes, because they will come at us if we allow them to. So, well, talking a little bit about that during your power hour, or even maybe in your home life, when do you find for yourself that you feel the greatest sense of satisfaction? What does that look like for you?
That for me is going to change on a daily, I think, basis sometimes, just depending
Sure.
on the speed of the day. If there's dinner on the table that, isn't cereal, that's sometimes a big success. And,
Yeah.
but I do, I just love to cook. It's something that, my mom passed down to me as well, just generations of cooks. And so if I can make a recipe that, was something that she taught me, then that's a huge success. If I take a daily walk or I go to Orange Theory, I made it, that's a success. So it definitely changes. And then I think ultimately, there's like a window of time. I'm a big bath person. So whenever I make it in the bathtub with a glass of wine, I think that's the ultimate success.
Good for you. Yeah, we do have to celebrate those mini successes, right? It doesn't have to be, although you've got major successes already you've shared, the global awards. I mean, come on. But yes, dinner on the table that not it isn't cereal. I love that. I love that. I can vibe with you on that. Oh, geez, so relatable. So, you mentioned earlier too that maybe you're more in your business world with the business hat on, more of the strategic behind the scenes and logistical and things like that, project management. But you're creative. I hear it with the cooking and different things that I observe with you. But I'm wondering if you ever get stuck or in a creative rut, or even maybe it would be unmotivated.
Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, it's the naughty dog.
I love it. Oh, that's called real life.
He had one job.
We're going to keep that in, right? We're going to keep rolling. That is awesome. He was like, I had to make my appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Sorry about that. Okay, where
it's
were we?
okay. No, it's all good. It is all good. Again, this is what we call real life. I love it. So, how do you get unstuck? Or
Yeah.
if you're in a rut, how do you get back on track or get back on that goal? Or, hey, like even right now, undistracted.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Do you have anything that you could share with the audience?
Gosh, I am an explorer. So for me, when I get stuck, I try to take some time to go explore something, whether it's on my own or with my husband or with some friends and it's, just a new restaurant that's down the street, or I'm very fortunate to have a mother-in-law who helps me out and watches the kids so we can take getaways and things like that. But usually kind of being able to just close everything up in terms of, just to focus a little bit more on me and just enjoy the surroundings. That's what I do. So I usually just take a break and then I can come back and be refocused and energized.
That's fantastic. That adventuresome personality trait comes out. That's
Mhm.
great. What or who maybe influences you the most?
You know, I think it's probably my children. I really this whole journey and freelancing and all of, having a remote business was really for them so that I could pick them up from school and try and be as present as I could throughout their early childhood. And so everything I think that I do is to kind of just help shape who they're going to be when they grow up. And then, just being able to distract them from the digital world means that you have to be present. So it's really kind of closing things up and being able to live in the moment and to take those times just to be present. So yeah, I would say my kids are kind of the biggest impact in my life.
That's fantastic, and it is a significant effort to keep them away. From all of the digital that is just submerged, even in the classrooms, right? And then they come home, and it is everywhere. So to be present is so very important, and it takes effort.
Yes.
It takes a lot of effort. I think yes. Wow, good for you. Good for you. So talking through that a little bit, as far as in the business world, being the strong, independent, if you will, business owner and female that you are, where do you turn to for support in that realm?
That's a really good question. I think it's really within the community of my peers and my colleagues. I have, some of my clients are small business owners. So just kind of talking with them often is a huge help because many of them have been doing this a lot longer than I have and scaled businesses and learned from mistakes. So, I would say that I kind of turn back to the community that I am in, fortunately, to just connect with other people that can relate to what I'm struggling with or going through or, trying to celebrate.
Do you have any groups, or is it just more, like you said, your clients and just your network that you've built up around you?
Yeah, no, I do actually have a mastermind group that I'm a part of in Fort Worth. It's called High Rise, and they have been extremely supportive and helpful. We meet like once a month, and somebody literally is just kind of saying, "Here's my problem," and 9 times out of 10, it's something that people we can all relate to at some level. So High-rise has been a big help, and then, of course, clients and previous employers. I still have a really good reputation, or not reputation, but a good relationship with a lot of my former bosses. So I draw a lot of strength from them, and enjoy whenever I get to catch up and all of that with them too.
So fortunate, right? Those are golden opportunities to have access. And that you've laid the foundation to continue those relationships, even as you move forward. So that's fantastic. Well, let's take, Sarah, a quick break to hear from this episode's sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Is it time to sell your home? Build that dream home? Right size? Or are you ready to invest in real estate? Couture Real Estate Firm is a local female-owned independent brokerage laser-focused on services exclusively tailored to our clients' real estate goals. With our forward-thinking business model, we have a fully mobile, luxury real estate concept allowing convenience, flexibility, efficiency for our clients in style. Amber Weitzer, broker-owner of Couture Real Estate Firm, has over 20 years in the real estate industry and is a second-generation broker. She provides straightforward business practices, integrity, and intelligence with a commitment to a high-touch, consistent customer service experience. We take great pride in our reputation as a strong, referral-based brokerage. Discretion, tenacity, respect, and proactive business practices have earned Couture Real Estate Firm a loyal, repeat client business with a trusted global partner network. We strive for ultimate client satisfaction with successful results, doing it with class, consciousness, and a little avant-garde. In addition to serving our clients and vendor partners, we are extremely honored to be actively engaged in supporting the communities we serve by promoting small businesses, schools, and nonprofits. Real estate is direct sales business at its core, and we are highly trained sales professionals with the Mike Ferry organization, adding dimension to the industry. Passionate about customer service, dedicated to client satisfaction, and driven to achieve successful results for our clients. Call Couture Real Estate Firm today at 817-233-7239 to discuss your real estate goals.
All right, we're back. All right, Sarah, we're going to jump into another, maybe a little bit deeper of a question. I don't know. It is probably on the top of your head. You're going to have an answer. But was there ever a specific point in time, event, or key situation in your professional life that forced you to take a monumental shift within your business or career? And if you can think of something, what was the result, and whether it was positive or painful, how did that help you grow?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Gosh, I wish, it was a happy thing, but really it wasn't. I was working in an ad agency that was super stressful. Just was working with really big advertising budgets and responsibility, and kind of just had a series of panic attacks at work. And every time I would come home, and thankfully this is with 4 kids, but I had a boss that was just really understanding of what I was going through, and kind of connected me with some really amazing mentors who helped me learn how to prioritize my day. I'm always juggling so many balls. We all have so much to do. You know, so it's learning how to focus and prioritize what has to be done today, and then what can, happen tomorrow and the next day. And then also, like, when something would happen, something that was stressful or something like that, it was always to just remember, like, is this going to stress me out for 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 months? Will this matter in 5 years? And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter much more than, 5 days. So that's been super helpful, is just prioritizing what needs to be done. And then if one of the balls drop, understanding the weight of what it really is.
Wow, talk about, well, I guess a couple of things first come to mind is pretty fortunate to have a fantastic boss that was able to identify that and then have the resources to help you.
Yeah.
And you're able to now in turn do that, I'm sure, for others. But it also pulls back into something that we talked about earlier with you, is maybe that skill set of helping you at that point is similar to what you're doing now with your day, because you shared with us how you have more of a calendarized day, but you're able to prioritize and eliminate the distractions, which then in turn might eliminate a lot of the stressors. So, wow, isn't that a fun tie-in?
Yeah.
Wow, you're going deep on us here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it helps. I mean, I
Yeah,
hope that somebody, would listen to this and get so
yeah.
stressed out, and have those kind of breakdowns, can hear what helped me, because it really did change my life.
Yeah. And I know it will help. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, talking a little bit about that, then, what are maybe some positive adjustments that you've made in your life or environment to help support your growth, goals, or dreams?
I go to bed earlier. So that's
That's
definitely,
important.
yeah. Sleep
It is
really
important. Yeah, sleep is good.
yes. But other adjustments I would say is I try to be, I try to take a walk and walk the dog and just go outside. I do that like 4 or 5 times a week, or if I can, every day, just to kind of get outside and take a break from staring at the screen, something that we all do too often. Yeah, that's probably that.
That's good. It's a release. It's a release. And
Hmm.
the fun, naughty dog gets to go too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your mascot.
Yeah. You can always see us because he's the one that's like pulling me. I might as well get like a little sled because
Right.
he could be a sled dog.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, too cool. Too cool. All right, my lady, I am watching the time and respecting your schedule. But I had another question because so many times we are all looking for additional means of solid resources or uplifting, encouraging books or just any resource that maybe you follow that's a favorite of yours. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience and tell us what makes it a favorite?
That is a very good question. No, I really can't think of anything outside of just TED Talks, and those are kind of my go-to. I found that anything that you are kind of dealing with professionally or personally for that matter, somebody's done a really amazing TED Talk on it that that you can listen to and watch. So yeah, I'd say TED Talks, but that's a hard question.
That's really cool because there are some that I have saved.
Yeah, awesome. Okay,
Right?
we'll have to
Yeah.
share.
Yes, there are some that I have saved, and they seem timeless. And you go back and watch them, you're like, all right, I needed that again. So yes, we will. We'll have to share that. So maybe between now and when we put the resources out here with your episode, maybe you want to share me a couple of links, and we'll add those in. Because yeah, they're so valuable. I know that. So, all right, my lady, as we wrap up, where can our audience go to connect and find you on your socials or support you in your continued success?
Instagram is where I spend a good amount of time. So if you want to follow Preuve, and it's Preuve. It rhymes with move, but it's spelled Preuve. So if you want to connect on Instagram, send me a DM, or you can email me at sarah@preuve.co.
Very cool. And your business website would be?
Preuve.co.
Excellent. All right. We will make sure we include those links to support and bring, because I know everyone's going to need to check out all of the amazing work that you and your partner are doing, and all those fantastic clients that you're supporting and just making magic happen, supporting the community. So that's just so exciting. So, Sarah, thank you once again for sharing your silhouette of success with us. It has been fun and a sincere pleasure talking with you.
Oh, thank you, Amber. You too. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and join us for all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. Amber would love to hear from you, and you can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or head over to amberweitzer.com. Let's connect. Help us all shine and leave us a review too. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at amberweitzer.com. We are honored, humbled, and full of joy that you've tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.